There I go. Yay, it's working now. Boy, I was all kinds of messed up this morning. That's okay. You guys didn't hear me saying, hey, it's not working. I guess the kids were watching stuff. And so the network wasn't connecting. Anyway, Miriam was telling the kids to go turn off their streaming because they were watching, I don't know, something on Netflix and it was killing our upload. So yay, it's working. How's everybody doing this morning? Two Crazy Ketos are probably just finishing up their live stream. So if you're just getting on, boy, you didn't miss anything. Anyway, so I'm Chris. I'm one of the co-founders, president and technical guy behind Keto Chow. One of the problems I'm having this morning is the laptop that I'm using is an old laptop that didn't work as well. My happy laptop, my good laptop, is actually, I sent it in for repair because the USB-C port isn't working. So, hi Miriam. Here she comes. Nice. Miriam just got back from doing water aerobics.
Yes. And now I'm winded from going up the flights of steps.
Oh, was anybody watching something?
Nope, they're scrolling on Instagram.
Huh. Weird. Anyway.
I know, it's super weird.
So you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
We got a lot of people in here. I'm not even going to try to go back to the comments, but Carrie says I like old computers. This isn't even an old computer. It's fairly recent, but I did have to change a couple settings in the registry in order to let it upgrade to Windows 11. Just because it was too old for Windows 11, too old. Even though it was
that's too old.
Fairly new.
Now I can see.
Hascat said, oh, they ended just after I left. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
JJ is here. Says, good morning all. Happy Labor Day.
Yeah.
Jack says, water
you guys
aerobics,
gonna do
very
something
nice.
fun? Yeah, we do it on Mondays. And
Yeah.
I love it. Actually came down 5 pounds again.
Jackie says, I got that same shirt in purple. Next time
Yes.
next time you're together, y'all could be twinsies.
Right.
Oh, Jackie got Rachel that shirt. That's what
yes,
she said.
Yes.
Okay, Sabrina says, waiting for a banana
That's
keto
awesome.
chow to get here. Going to try and make a banana caramel pecan keto chow ice cream when it comes.
That sounds awesome.
Becky says, happy belated birthday. How
Thanks,
did your birthday
Becky.
go?
It was awesome.
Yeah?
We had a good time. We played games and we ended up changing our plans because Lynette is a good influence on us. And she was going to Brazilian Steakhouse. So instead of the lasagna, we went to Brazilian Steakhouse.
We went to a Brazilian steakhouse.
And it was delicious. So we had lasagna yesterday.
Yeah, carnivore lasagna. Becky says, no school for us today, too. JJ says, PCs degrade rather quickly. Well, the biggest issue is none of the stuff was installed. Like, I didn't have the software for the Stream Deck installed. I didn't have so much stuff installed.
That's a bummer.
Because this was the laptop, and then I wiped it, and then Spencer used it. Anyway, let's see. Carrie says, my Linux computer's motherboard is 14 years old. Why do you have a towel on your head?
Because we were working out.
Okay.
Just get a little closer.
Rachel?
Just sit in right here.
Rachel, I don't think is here yet. 68 Sandra K says, any news on pumpkin, caramel, and eggnog? As of yet, they are not available. That's the news.
Save me a piece of lasagna for breakfast.
JG says, were my eyes playing tricks, or did I see pumpkin spice keto chow somewhere? So Joe and Rachel and a couple other people did an unboxing of the September 30 meal My Chow surprise kit, and that does have, I think it's two packets of the pumpkin spice caramel in it.
So you can start getting your fall on. It's 100 degrees here, so let's get fall on. All right.
Right?
It's really hot.
Jackie says, if I order the surprise chow box today, would I get this month's? Yes. Yes, you would. Keto Mary says, didn't know you guys have dry egg protein. Got to place my order. Yes, we introduced it a couple months ago.
Yes.
When we
got
first
it before the bird flu happened too.
Well, and it's interesting because when we bought the stuff, the actual powder cost a bit more than people who had already been selling it. And so a lot of people were complaining, why does your egg protein cost so much more than anybody else? It's like, well, this is how much it costs for us to buy it. And then as the prices continued to go up, the other sellers had to raise their prices above ours. And so it was kind of this funny leapfrog thing. Anyway, Amy says, happy Labor Day. Mike says, good morning. Laurel says, clues for 55-year-old needing to lose a minimum of 15 pounds. Well, Joe and Rachel with Two Crazy Ketos right now are doing their beef butter, bacon, and egg challenge.
We should do it with them someday. I just keep being late to the party. Like, I didn't hear about it till it was going to happen.
Oh. Alicia says, good morning, guys. Gina says, good morning again. I'm having eggs and steak and Keto Chow for breakfast.
Yum.
Perfect start for a Monday.
Yes.
Sabrina says, wants to know, it says, feed me brisket and tell me I'm pretty.
I can't really see that
There
very
it is.
good.
Yeah. This morning, I have a whole bunch of Keto Chows that have been thinking about what they've done in the fridge
Test
since Friday.
batches.
So I'm going to test them out and make sure that they taste all good stuff.
Yeah.
Shauna says, you mean Chris is technically human? Technically. Hey, technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Right. You should get closer to me.
Laura, why?
Because you're kind of on the side of the
I'm already leaning over.
thing.
I think you're just leaning over too
He
far.
doesn't like to be
It hurts
by
my
me.
back to lean over that much, so I'm not going to. Laurel says, I'm in Ottawa, Canada. Joanne says, my favorite is pumpkin, but caramel macchiato is great in coffee. Yes, it is. Jen says, are you all going to the Proper Human Diet Summit or just managing the live stream remotely?
We are going.
Yeah, with our daughter. I'm not going to be running the live stream. We paid for the live stream,
Yes.
is what it is.
That's true.
And unless something goes terribly wrong, I'm not going to be like managing the live stream other than maybe having some employees go through the chat and make sure people aren't saying dumb stuff.
Yeah, that's
But-
something we need to do.
Shauna says, I use B-Day Special to get a big bag of Keto Chow Orange. Nice. Hascat says it's going to be 105.
Today?
That is, yeah, that's cooler than
that's-
yesterday's 109. Carrie says all the hot temperature must have left Texas. I think it actually came from Southern California. is
Well,
where we're
it's
getting
not
ours
leaving
from.
because we're in
No.
September and it's not close to leaving.
Gina says, prepping bacon twists as I listen. That's the best way to do bacon
Let's
in the
do
oven.
that.
Sally
I've
says,
been
well,
making bacon chips lately, just cutting them into really small and then frying them in a frying pan.
Yep.
I've been doing that a lot.
Okay, Sally has a good question. Will the big bags of soups ever be available in the My Chow boxes? Why are all the regular flavored big bags not available in the My Chow
yeah,
boxes? So
that's
stuff that is seasonal or out of stock or limited edition are not available for purchase in the pick your own. They're not. You can't choose those because we don't have them permanently available. The large bags of the savory flavors are currently out of stock, so you can't order them. So you can't pick them. Things like the pumpkin spice caramel, that's a seasonal flavor. Orange cream, that's a seasonal flavor. So those are not available in the choose your own.
Such a
Now,
bummer.
the surprise one will
Yeah, it has
very frequently
random
have stuff like that in it.
whatevers, So
Alan says, I'm having my coffee and waking up. Exposing Darkness says, you can join Beef Butter Bacon Eggs anytime. Yes, you
I
can.
know I can.
Defense Swiss is debating
just
on
do
what
it.
flavor ice cream for tonight. Laurel's having
Black licorice. Is what
eggs
I have.
and spinach for breakfast.
That sounds good.
Chrissy says, I'm making bacon in the air fryer, about to have Keto Chow waffles for brunch. Karen says, wants to know where you can get the Keto Chow t-shirts. I'll actually show you. So, if this works. There we go. Let's see if did it work? Did it work? Yes, it's working. Oh my gosh. So, if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, very, 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 very bottom.
In a hard to find place.
And
That's why.
it might be under our heads, but there's the shirts and gear on Amazon. That's where you get them from.
Yep.
And they're not all black, it's just showing black. But I think I'm wearing
There's pink
that
ones.
exact shirt right there.
Bluey.
Bluey, it's like a heather dark blue or something like that. Let's see, Pam says good morning.
Good.
Let's see. Carrie says, I can't wait to see the live stream. There's a backup for the live stream, which is cool. Yeah, with the PhD Summit. Well, as evidenced by this morning,
Always.
there's
Stuff
always
always
problems.
happens.
I was just about to go grab my backup Wi-Fi router and get that going when it started working. I also lowered the bit rate.
It wasn't the kids either.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Matre says, noted. Say dumb stuff. Synergy says, no, so nice to be able to catch a live stream. I need more Mondays off work. The funny thing about today is it's a bank holiday that isn't a payroll.
Oh, it always falls on bank holidays.
Always. And so all of our, and then we always get the thing
paid a day late.
A day late. And I always get the things on like Thursday that says, make sure you do the payroll by Friday at 5
p.m.
I'm like, how am I
People
going
haven't clocked out yet.
They're still working. How am I going to run payroll?
Well, everybody leave early so we can pay you next week before
my cheek is shiny.
Day. Oh yeah. It's shiny.
Oh, it's a little less shiny now. Anyway, Pamela says I miss doing the Keto Chow, doing beef butter, 2 beef butter, bacon, and eggs, but we'll have again in October using the electrolytes though. Ellie says, good morning from Maryland. It's just wonderfully humid. I made eggs with cheese and kale spinach. Shauna says we're going to be 111 in Napa. I thought it didn't get that hot in Napa. Wow. Swelling Darkness says, I don't understand your logic on seasonal, especially the savory. Okay, so back, we announced the seasonal flavors back when we introduced the lemon meringue. The problem that we've run into is if we used to keep the eggnog and the pumpkin spice caramel in stock year round. And then we found that nobody was buying it during the summer. And
so it's just sitting there collecting dust.
Getting closer to its expiration date.
We don't want to have to deal with that.
We actually ended up having to throw a bunch away because it had gone past its best by date, and that is sad. So we decided instead we would, the flavors that were more seasonal, like root beer float, orange cream, eggnog, pumpkin spice caramel, we would stock those up when it was the season that people would actually be buying them. And then when it sold out, we wouldn't stock it again until that time again the next year. So that's the logic and how it's done. It does explain that on the product page, or at least it used to.
Yep.
Actually, nothing like doing stuff live. Let's go. Fossils. Oh, let's see. Actually, you might not be able to find the pumpkin right now. Pumpkin spice caramel, seasonal.
Oh, because there's a notify.
It just says this bulk meal with seasonal flavor are only available in the fall and winter. So it used to have a more lengthy explanation.
But words are
somebody
hard.
took it out.
Also, that little notify thing, if you click on that and put your email in, you get on a specific list that'll tell you as soon as we put them in, even before we announce that they're in. So sometimes we've had mistakes where it's been put in before we've announced it.
And if you don't see that notify me when available, it's because you have an ad blocker that for whatever reason is blocking.
And then you can just put your email address in there, and then as soon as pumpkin spice caramel comes back, you'll get an email that says, guess what's back?
Yep. Sally says raspberry cheesecake isn't in my chow and doesn't look seasonal. That's because it's out of stock.
Yes, that's true.
So if it's out of stock, it immediately pulls it out, so you can no longer choose that flavor.
Yeah, normally it is, but we're having, we have a problem with that one. We don't have it, sadly.
Alan says we made raspberry ice cream to help with the heat wave. Well, we might as well talk about the raspberry cheesecake right now. The flavoring for the raspberry cheesecake was not manufactured properly.
For our batch that was supposed to be coming in.
We went through about 20 tests to see if we could get it tasting right. They're actually going back to the drawing board and saying,
sent it back.
No, this does not taste right. It didn't have
I don't like it.
It didn't have the bright raspberry, and it didn't have the cheesecake flavor. It tasted okay, but it was kind of meh. So raspberry cheesecake is going to be out of stock for a while.
It's really sad.
It may be 2 or 3 months, actually.
Sorry.
In which case, the people who already have subscriptions for raspberry cheesecake are going to be getting notified saying, hey, we don't have this available. We
Can
need
we
you to
get
pick
you
something different.
else?
Which is
It
why
stinks.
that whole we have to manually contact people and ask them to pick something different is why we don't put things that are out of stock or seasonal as available for picking on the pick your own subscription.
Yes.
JJ just ordered 3 more shaker bottles. Now they have 10.
Yes.
I won't tell you how many we have.
Oh, we probably have 50.
Let's see. Synergy's having creamy ice cream this afternoon, and pumpkin spice is at the top of my list. Been a long time since I made that. Let's see. S Cash is here. So excited about doing workout. Finally under 200 for the first time in 25 years.
Yes, congratulations.
Let's see. And I'm sorry if I'm skipping stuff. There's Dennis. Let's see. Oh, Dennis says the store ranges from 4.4 pounds to 9 pounds. Oh, so looks like I'm getting the big old giant things.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Lucky's. Prime ribs.
right.
I mean ribeyes. Pam,
Whatever,
which is the
I
same
just
thing.
want you to buy it.
Pam says I'm eating Irish cream ice cream made in my creamy. Nice. S. Wilson says that Christy Davis is sick. I had a little bit of a tickle in the back of my throat this morning.
Oh, you know what? I have had a runny nose the last couple of days, but the weather lady last night said that a bunch of weeds were high.
Yes.
And the allergist said that, grasses and weeds peak at Labor Day. So it's like the worst time for them is right now. And then things will start to get better.
Ellie wanted to know how you order the surprise kit. You go here to subscriptions, and you have a choice of the you choose or the
You choose?
we choose.
That says you choose.
See, we surprise you or you choose, and you can pick between the two of them. So that's how you can order it.
Yeah.
Synergy says, yeah, I had to get my timesheet turned in early. There you go. But you're still at work. Mary says, my office pays for days not worked yet. Well, and if you have salaried people, I can understand that. But the problem is we have a lot of hourly people. Let's see. Cami says it's raining in Pittsburgh. JJ says I just did BBB in July, and my weight started dropping after 6 weeks of nothing. When I went from 1 Keto Chow a day to 2, so I'm sticking with that, and that's what I'm doing now. Wow. Sean says, yeah, it's not supposed to get that hot in Napa. Defense Wiz says, I just used my last eggnog last week. Can't wait till it comes back.
Sad.
Well, hopefully you don't have to wait very long. Joanna was kind of
Hopefully the
sad.
leaves will fall soon.
Who was it? Somebody asked me, Chris, when is pumpkin spice caramel going to be back? I'm like, sometime before March. Joanna's like, March? I'm like, hopefully a lot sooner than March. She's like, well, maybe I'll
Hopefully.
get it for my birthday in January. I'm like,
It probably will be.
I
here by
suspect it'll be
January.
way before your birthday. Yeah, let's see. Jackie says I ordered my box. Now I have to wait 25 more days. BBB and E. Last day's in the first day of Keto Palooza. Oh, okay. Can't wait to see you guys. Yeah, Sean says live dangerously and do stuff live. Oh,
Right?
man. Yeah, and Vera wanted to know will Raspberry Cheesecake be back? It will be back, but it's going to be
someday.
It's going to be a
gonna be a
while,
minute.
unfortunately. Let's see. Steph says I made 2KK's pudding with lemon and meringue and added fresh lemon juice to amp up the flavor. Would this be why my pudding never set up? It could be the additional acid from the lemon juice might have made it not set up. That would be my guess. Mary says I actually like the seasonal flavors only being in that season because it makes me more excited. And they do have a long expiration date on them, so feel free to stock up.
So if you do buy them and have a bunch and then get tired of it, they sit in your cupboard, it's fine.
Sabrina has to sign off. What are you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say on that same note, it does give you kind of a variety. You can kind of get into different things at different seasons and, because everything that's the same is sometimes boring.
Yep. Laurel says, do you replace one meal with a shake? That's the idea is... So while I'm going, this morning, as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to drive to Lucky's to buy a bunch of ribeyes for $5 a pound. Yes.
Then I'm going to put that on the meal plan.
And I also need to buy a bunch of pork shoulders to make the pulled pork for the meetup that's happening this Saturday.
Oh my gosh, we
here
forgot to talk
in
about
Salt
that.
Lake. So if you happen to
you're
be in the
local,
Salt Lake area,
we're finally doing meetups again. We decided we're not going to
Gonna
do
do 'em
Keto
quarterly.
Salt Lake. We're going to do meetups
oh, was that
instead.
just announced?
That
Okay.
was just announced.
So you want to repeat that?
We're not doing Keto Salt Lake.
We're going to do.
We're going to do meetups here instead.
We're going to put a bigger emphasis on meetups and make them big time.
Yep.
This first one's going to be kind of low key, but
It's, this week.
yes. Okay. Yeah, so I need to get some pork shoulders to cook for the meetup. I'm going to smoke them. So
Smoky.
okay. But yes, so as that was back to Laurel's question. So as I am on my way, it's like a 25-minute drive from here to there. It's actually over by my parents' house where we're going later today. I will be drinking a Keto Chow for my breakfast. And the idea is it's giving me all of the nutrients I need, but I can get it while I'm on the run instead of having to cook a bunch of stuff this morning to eat breakfast because I don't have time for that because I really need to get over there before they sell out. Let's see. Kathy says, good morning. Gina says, I have 2 pumpkins caramel stashed to make the delicious sausage. Pumpkin sausage soup. Nice. Carrie says, you don't have any flat rocks. I have a couple of them to skip stuff. Kathy says, I'm finally made alive. Nice. Bob says, does the going lake on your Keto Chow home screen refer to the Great Salt Lake during this drought? Yeah, just about. No, it's in a reference to the summer flavors, which are the orange mango, orange cream, root beer float, the key lime,
Guava grapefruit.
and guava
we call it
grapefruit.
Pina colada.
I don't know about pina colada, but those are all ones that are going to be going away because we're right here at the end of summer. Mary says, I work hourly too, so it's weird when payroll asks for my hours and I have to include the next day that I have.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not sure. You can pay me for tomorrow, but I'm going to take the day off. Betsy says, will acacia gum issue hold back on the seasonals? It may. That's one of the reasons why
Yep.
we're waiting so long on the other things like pumpkin spice. Maria says, how do you come up with new flavors? A lot of it's Miriam says, you will make
Let's try
chocolate
this.
toffee. And a lot of it is, I made the black licorice in an effort to troll Joe. It turned out it was really good.
Yeah.
And the red licorice was
really
a complete
good.
accident.
It's
But
kind of fun.
yeah, a lot of it's just we want to make something, so we do.
We just feel like it.
Let's see. Sally says, I lost 21 pounds in my 30 days of Keto Chow last month. Wow. That's awesome. Alan says, we got a great deal on ribeye steaks.
Nice,
Yes, indeed.
Alan. That's so awesome.
Teresa says, I want to come fly in for a meetup. Do you want to talk about
We
more
should.
about what the plan
Okay,
is?
so since we're announcing it,
'Kay.
I thought you had already said something.
No, there is.
Well, now here
I
it
would
is.
be in the doghouse, even though we don't have a dog. We have a chicken coop.
I don't know if you could fit very well in there.
I've gone
pretty
in there
small.
to clean stuff. I would have been in the chicken coop if I would have announced it ahead of time.
All right,
So,
I'll announce it.
So.
Okay, so we decided that instead of doing Keto Salt Lake, because it is a lot of work to put together and it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's difficult to find a venue that will hold
we have
everybody.
not been able to find a venue.
And because Chris keeps blabbing that we keep losing money on it, and I'm tired of hearing him say that. Just kidding.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Anyway, we decided it would be better if we just took 1 or 2 or 3 experts instead of 16 and flew them in to Keto Chow and had them come and speak to us.
At
It
the
would
meetup.
be a little bit more low key, but we could still do it at our location, so it wouldn't cost us as much money. So it would cost money to bring someone in, but then we could like give them a tour of the city. We could take them wherever they wanted to go. We could take them to Brazilian Steakhouse or something.
And for the people who are attending, it's going to be a more
Intimate.
intimate. I'm going to skip ahead really quick so I can just people talking about. Sorry. But yeah, so it's going to be not so much intimate like you're thinking intimate, but more of a one-on-one. Fewer. You're going to be able to actually connect with whomever it is we bring in.
Yep.
We're probably going to bring in Joe and Rachel. That's a given. We're going to try and get Dr. Barry.
Yeah, we have a list of people that we're going to reach out to, and the nice thing about that is if we can't get them for the specific date we wanted, we can get them for another date. So we're going
Yes.
to try to do it quarterly. And the reason why we don't have somebody for this week is because we just finally decided like last week.
I was in the chicken coop about that.
Yeah. And really, he's been letting me decide because and I need to spend time with my kids. Like that's what I need to be doing right now
Yeah.
as a mother. That's my primary focus. And Keto Chow is, one of my kids, but also like it's not.
But we also want to get better interviews. We want to
be able to share that information with people.
And now here's another thing. So with Keto Salt Lake, we were charging for tickets, and that's how we were trying to recoup some of the cost. But when it really got down to it, what we wanted to do is provide the information for free, kind of like what we're doing with the live stream now, and kind of like what we did with the live stream with Keto Salt Lake. And I worry that a lot of people didn't buy tickets for Keto Salt Lake because in the back of their head, they knew
we were going to stream it.
Chris is going to stream this for free. I don't have to buy a ticket. So,
yeah,
by doing the meetups where I'm going to set up a camera. I'm going to stream it for free. So whoever it is that's talking, you'll be able to see what's going on, and we'll have it recorded for later viewing. I don't have to worry about charging people even to come to the meetup. So Linda says, will the meetup be virtual too? Kind of, yeah.
We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that, but I'm going to set up a camera and stream it. So you won't be able to interact with people, but you'll be able to get the information and see the stuff.
Yeah, because part of the meetups that is so fun is just talking to your fellow keto people.
Yeah.
It's been really, because we've done meetups before COVID. We did meetups for like 3 years, every single month. And we just had this,
Third Saturday of every
community,
month.
and they would.
Sometimes there was only 4 people. Sometimes there were 50.
Yes, and they would come and bring a recipe to share if you want to, but nobody ever feels pressure to have to eat. Like we have a bunch of food there, but you don't have to eat. You can eat. You can grab a recipe or not. And it's just been fun to kind of be with our, keto community that's here. But part of the reason why Keto Salt Lake was hard for me again is that we kept getting people to come into Keto Salt Lake, and the whole purpose was to bring keto to our community. And this will be like, okay, this is our community. We would love to have everybody still come if they want to come.
Yes.
But we also don't want to have to charge for it. So this will be better for our goals, I think.
And with the whole, it's not like in the before times when it was if you threw a big event, a whole bunch of people would come, and it was great.
Yeah.
Like we had probably, I don't know, a third of the people who had tickets for Keto Salt Lake didn't actually show up, which is sad. And we didn't have a lot of people that were buying tickets because they were still, I don't know if I can go. So for the people who are local or for people who do want to come in, we're hoping to get some pretty big name people and do kind of a mini keto event every quarter.
And if it's one person, it's okay, because we're going to be able to focus on that person, maybe their specialty, which I find fascinating, because if they're specializing in a specific thing and we can share that thing, we can get into more detail with them, we can ask more questions about it, we can have questions prepared ahead of time, and we can really get into whatever niche that they're in that is in keto, and then we can really learn about it for that month. So we're excited about it.
So Nadra wanted to know, how do I break a stall using Keto Chow?
Don't snack between meals. Use Keto Chow for a couple of meals and then have a really good meat-heavy dinner.
That would be my recommendation as well.
And it's pretty fast. Like Keto Chow instead of meals is pretty fast. The problem is if you go ahead and drink a shake, but don't deal with the reason why you're overeating or binging or, having these bad emotions about food, when you stop drinking the shake, you're going to still have problems and go back to those things. So you kind of have to have some mental exercises, I think, to kind of figure out, why do I go to food when I'm sad? Why do I go to food when I'm happy? Why do I reward myself with food? You kind of have to disconnect and change your mindset so that if you lose weight with the shakes, that's great. But then when you stop eating the shakes, you don't go back to, what got you there in the first place.
Yeah.
And just in general with keto, not just shakes too, because it's really easy to be like, once I lose the weight, then I can go back to eating what I was eating before, but that's not necessarily true.
And to reiterate what Miriam was saying, the point of Keto Chow is to give you the time for the meals that are important, to give you the energy for the meals that are important, so that you don't have to make compromises when you don't have the time and energy to cook an amazing meal.
Yes.
And you can, like I said, this morning, I'm going to go to the store, and what was it? Exposing Darkness says, don't forget the fat. That's why I'm going to go get some ribeyes. I need to go to the store. I don't have time to cook. So I'm going to use a Keto Chow shake as a tool for that. But is it better for you to make an amazing carnivore lasagna like we had last night?
Yeah, that was so good. I hope there's a piece left.
Yeah, knowing Max, there may not be.
I did tell him specifically and Ruth to save me one. I should have just brought it up here.
You should have. Well, I was a bit short with Max on Saturday morning because
he ate all the jalapeno poppers.
Miriam had gotten one. And
I made them.
Yeah.
It takes time to do that. It's fine. I just need to get one. It's fine.
Let's see. Betsy says Salt Lake was always on the top of my bucket list. Now I'll need my service dog. I still will need my service dog. Okay, and it will be a smaller get together.
And we'll let you know. So we're gonna put together a schedule once we get things figured out, of the dates when all of the meetups will be and who's going to come to each of those meetups as soon as we get a hold of people. And then you'll be like, hey, October is the best time for me. I'm going to come during October, or, whatever. And that'll actually give us a little bit more versatility for you to choose if you do want to come to one. Maybe a couple of your friends all come to the same one, and we can all meet up in Salt Lake and hang out, and then you can, say, okay, well, the conference is only one day. That's not a conference because it's a meetup. Let's go 2 days early. We'll go hiking in the mountains. We'll go down to this lake and, see if we're available and we can hang out, So it should give us more opportunities if we want to have people come in and play than just the one a year.
Okay, so we got 2 questions. Laurel says, I'm ordering your premium starter kit, but I don't know what pay with Tensile is. Tensile is a lot like PayPal.
Yeah.
You create an account, you hook up your bank account to it, just like PayPal or Venmo, and then you can use that to pay on different websites. Yes. It actually, as a vendor, as a retailer, it costs us way less money if you use that.
So it's kind of cool.
And so we have a giveaway going on. If you pay with Tensile, it will put you into a drawing.
Giveaway.
But that's what it is. It's a lot like PayPal.
You don't have to pay that way. Nope. You can still pay.
Use a credit card if you want. That's fine. Sandra wants to know how to make carnivore lasagna. So there's 2 different ways. Joe and Rachel have their meat.
There's a lot of lasagna
where you just use meat as the layers, like what's it called? Deli meat.
Lunch meat.
Lunch meat. The one that we used was peace, love, and low carbs.
That's my favorite lasagna. Just like the real thing lasagna, peace, love, and low carb.
Yeah,
you make the lasagna noodles out of mozzarella cheese, cream cheese, Parmesan cheese, and eggs. And then you make like a kind of like a paste. And then I just put it out in the pans, the sheet pan, the cookie sheet pan. And then I bake those, and then I layer with the noodle lasagna. Like the meat and sauce, and then either cottage cheese or ricotta or whatever you feel like getting. We do cottage cheese a lot because it's cheap.
Yeah, and I say carnivore because we're not using any almond flour, stuff like that.
Yeah,
you could use.
It does have seasoning in it.
And it has red sauce, but you could use a what's the white sauce called?
Alfredo sauce.
Alfredo sauce.
Yeah, and did you know we have a really yummy Alfredo recipe on our site? We should really be making that more often. We could make that every week, and Sam would be so happy.
Carrie says, that lake is so salty. What's left of it?
Right.
Alan says, the shakes are great on days that you're running and have back-to-back meeting or activities on the shop floor, so you need a quick lunch. Yes.
Or if you're cooking all day. So we have 2 Labor Day picnics today. I have one at my dad's new place and one at Chris's parents' house. So we're going to probably spend a lot of time making food to bring to those different events, and we can have breakfast while we're making it, while we're making food.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just kind of just timing things so that things are easier sometimes.
Dennis says, must do hiking in a Apollo Burger. There you go.
Yes, hiking in Apollo Burger.
Matreya says, the smaller meetup sounds great. I was one of the people who planned to go to Salt Lake, and then work said, nope, pandemic,
Yeah,
pause
and that's
travel again.
so disappointing, but you can just kind of look at that schedule that we'll make someday. And then you can say, oh, but I can come on September 10th.
Carrie says, Chris and follow guy on YouTube, and they showcase Lake Mead and all the stuff we can find now. Yeah, that's Sin City Outdoors, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
By the way, right now the plan is the next meetup is going to be on November 19th.
November
I think
19th.
it is.
So we'll get somebody to come to that one.
It's the week before Thanksgiving. GGB says, I love that recipe the best. Dr. Matreya says, I just love meat lasagna. Skip the noodles altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, Lynette went hiking on the Bonneville Shoreline Trail.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm so happy.
Let's see, Barbara
I
says,
wanna
thank
go.
you.
I want to go hiking.
John says, I use Rao's. Yeah.
That's what we used to, because it's super easy.
Let's see, Margie says, Miriam, that looks delicious. Yes, it does. Luce is here. Teresa says, love shakes for ice cream. That's one of my favorite
It's
ways.
really great.
Yes. And Laurel says, Tensile only for U.S. residents. Yes, sorry. It is, I think, right now just a U.S.
Oh,
thing.
yeah, bummer, sorry.
One of my favorite ways to eat Keto Chow is making it into ice cream. Well, and I was doing a lot of tests with Snickerdoodle and a lot of tests with Raspberry Cheesecake this last week.
So you have a lot of those
we had a
flavors as
lot.
ice cream.
And so a lot of people will ask us, how do you make Keto Chow into ice cream? And I have a video where I show me taking Keto Chow and just dumping it into ice cream maker and turning it on. It's like, and they were like, well, where's the recipe? I'm like, there is no recipe. You just take Keto Chow and you dump it into an ice cream maker. That's like the whole thing about it, is that's all you do. And so we actually had a bunch of empty creamy containers at work. So if you've got extra Keto Chow and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to mix that up in time, freeze it.
Freeze it.
That's what we did.
And really what you could do too, if you don't have a Ninja Creamy, we did this before we even found the compressor ice cream maker, just freeze it in the freezer and then
stick
pull
it
it
in
out
there.
like half an hour before you're going to eat. And then you kind of have to chip away
Or
at it.
do what
but
Holly
it's still
does.
good.
You stick it in there, and then every like 15 minutes she kind of shakes it up a bit and rotates it. So, Ed says, checkout sends me to shop. How do I reach Tensile? There's a paid a different way link on the shop pay, and that will drop you back into the regular one. So,
Mary says she's got an Airbnb in Ogden for 2 days. Oh, it's really pretty.
Nice.
I'm so happy you get to
My
go
camera
play in Ogden.
Nice. Let's see. Sandra says, when not on beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, I eat my meat meal at 2 p.m. and use Keto Chow as ice cream for evening meal with my favorite coffee with a treat. There you go. And Brenda's going to Keto Palooza. We're going to be there too.
Nice, Brenda. We'll get to see you.
Everybody wants us to bring stuff, Keto Chow mixed up for sampling at Keto Palooza.
Okay, let's do it.
So, and I said Miriam has to make that decision.
Because I told him I didn't want to deal with it.
Defense says, to this day, I still have not yet made a shake. I've only eaten it as ice cream. Why mess with perfection?
Hey, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. John says, I found a pizza sauce out here. Yo Mama's at 2.5 grams per quarter cup. Wow. Teresa says, yep, I watched the video comparing the ice cream makers like 10 times.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's see. Karen says, I want to do Keto Chow for 30 days. Do you recommend eating extra protein or just 3 shakes a day?
I would say extra protein.
So we found that the right amount of protein was eating a can of salmon a day.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought I'd get really sick of it because I'm kind of hit and miss with salmon.
Along with the 3 shakes.
Like I really like salmon, but I kind of have to feel like it, or it has to be cooked a certain way.
It was nice and flaky in the can with a lot of salt on it.
We just put Redmond's real salt on it and just ate it. I did the seasoning salt, and I was surprised that I went through a whole week of eating it every day and was never sick of it. So it was really great and super easy.
Janice says, I don't have a creamy, but I saw you can make it into Vitamix, which I haven't tried it yet. Yes,
you should. Yeah, it'd be great.
Let's see. Brenda says, getting so excited. MJ says, since it's Labor Day, a good time to say thank you for hard work to support us all. We love you, too. Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Melissa says, yeah, she knows all the cool trails above Ogden.
Yeah, she
I would
does.
hike with you in a heartbeat.
I know. We'll meet you for a hike. I would love that.
Yep, MJ says can of calcium ups your calcium since it has the bones.
Can of salmon.
Can of salmon. What
You
did I
said
say?
calcium.
A can of calcium. Wow.
Extra calcium.
Okay, I think my brain is done.
Go get your meat.
I'm going to go get my
I'll
meat.
go see if I can find a piece of lasagna.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining us for this impromptu announcement about Keto Salt Lake.
Yeah, sorry.
Incidentally, one of the things that pushed us over the edge was Keto Con is more than likely going to be...
Oh, it's the same weekend.
It's not publicly announced yet, but it's going to be
it
the
was gonna
week
be
that
the
we
same
were
weekend.
going to be doing Keto Salt Lake. And when she's like, hey...
Are you available this day? We're like,
is-
what the heck?
It's like, yeah, okay, so, well, yeah. Oh, Brenda, big can of salmon? No, just one of the little ones, about the
Yeah,
same
it's still a
size.
little tuna fish size.
Lisa's on. Says, hey, y'all. Hi, Lisa.
Lisa, hi.
Dennis says, did the week of salmon let you sleep better?
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember.
No.
We'll have to test that.
Yeah.
Let's test it next week.
Okay. Well, everybody, you have a fantastic day, and we will catch you later. No, next week we were going to the PhD Summit.
All right. Next week.
Next week. Okay. See you all later. Bye.
Bye.